Hello, Inspire Era fam. Welcome to the Inspire Era podcast, where positivity colors our conversations and healing is at the heart of our stories. I'm your host, Aime Erasme, and I'm so grateful to be walking this journey with you. This isn't just a podcast, it's a space we build together, a sanctuary where we can be vulnerable, learn from each other, and collectively rise. Each week we gather here, not as experts with all the answers, but as fellow travelers, sharing our maps, our detours, and the beautiful views we find along the way. It's a community built on the belief that our stories have power and that by sharing them, we light the way for one another. This season, we're diving deep into how to elevate positivity when life gets harder. In a world that often feels overwhelming, finding that inner wellspring of positivity isn't just a nice to have, it's a survival skill. And today, we're going into a powerful topic: turn negative views from society into your strength. Let's be real for a second. At some point in life, you've probably heard words that felt like arrows, words that made you stop and wonder if you were even good enough. Maybe it came from a parent who thought they were being realistic, or a teacher who underestimated you, or a friend who threw shade when they should have had your back. Sometimes it's not even a person, but the subtle, unspoken messages from society itself, the images we see in the media, the expectations placed on us because of our gender, our race, or our background. These judgments can be silent, but they are just as loud. These words don't just sting, they plant seeds of doubt. They become the quiet whispers that hold us back from our dreams, from believing we deserve happiness. We have all been there. You have probably been told things like, "You're not smart enough. You don't have what it takes. You're too ugly. You'll never succeed because of where you come from." And you know what? Those words hurt. They cut deep, because they touch the very core of who we are. I've heard things like that too, and I'll be honest, it doesn't feel good. For me, those words created a shadow I lived in for a long time. It was an exhausting weight, a constant battle against a narrative I didn't even write for myself. I found myself shrinking, making myself smaller to fit into the boxes others had built for me. I'd second-guess my ideas before I even spoke them, convinced they weren't valuable. That shadow wasn't just a feeling, it dictated my actions and limited my world. It makes you question yourself, your dreams, and sometimes even your very existence. But here's what I want you to hear loud and clear. Those negative voices do not define you. Not then, not now, not ever. The labels, the stereotypes, the doubts, they're just noise. And noise can only drown you out if you let it. Imagine this. Every insult, every rejection, every "you can't" could be turned into rocket fuel. Instead of weighing you down, it can launch you into your very own Galaxy 9, a place where you live at your highest potential. Sounds impossible, right? Well, it's not. Let me share a story that proves it. David Goggins. You've probably heard his name. He's an American motivational speaker, author, and retired Navy SEAL. But more than that, he's living proof that the human spirit can rise out of the darkest pits. His life wasn't a Hollywood movie. It was raw, ugly, and brutal. He grew up in a home filled with abuse, surrounded by poverty, racism, and trauma. School didn't help either. He was labeled as slow. Imagine being a kid and already having society stamp you as not enough. That was his reality. People overlooked him. Teachers didn't believe in him. He was rejected not just by others, but at times even by himself. He was overweight, working a dead-end job, and haunted by the ghosts of his past. He was at rock bottom, a place where it's easier to give up than to fight back. The world had given him every excuse to fail. And here's the thing most of us can relate to. Sometimes the loudest voice telling you you can't is your own. But Goggins, he didn't just accept that script. He rewrote it. He made a conscious decision, looking in the mirror and choosing to become the hero of his own story, not a victim of his circumstances. He took all that pain and used it as fuel. Every insult became another rep in the gym. every rejection another mile on the road. Instead of letting them break him, he let them build him. And here's one of his quotes that shook me to my core. You are in danger of living a life so comfortable and soft that you will die without ever realizing your true potential. Think about that twice and reread it. Most of us get so caught up in avoiding pain, avoiding challenges, avoiding failure, that we settle for a life that feels safe. It's a subtle trap, isn't it? The allure of the known. We tell ourselves we're being responsible, practical. We choose the steady job over the risky passion project, the quiet night in over the networking event that terrifies us. We build these comfortable cages for ourselves, gilded with predictable routines and familiar comforts, thinking we're protecting ourselves from the harsh winds of the world. But what is that protection really costing us? Safe doesn't grow you. Safe doesn't transform you. Safety doesn't make you live at your fullest. It just keeps you small, contained, a shadow of the person you could become. When I first encountered that idea, it wasn't just a mirror. It was a floodlight illuminating all the corners of my life I'd kept in shadow. I saw it so clearly. Every time I didn't speak up in a meeting, every time I didn't submit my work for a bigger opportunity, it was all rooted in the same thing, letting negativity or fear or someone else's imagined opinion hold me back. The paralyzing fear of judgment, of not being good enough. How many times had I chosen that familiar comfort over the terrifying, exhilarating possibility of growth? It was a question that demanded an honest answer. That's the core lesson David Goggins hammers home. That every insult, every dismissal, every "you're not enough" presents a fork in the road. It can either bury you under a mountain of self-doubt, or it can become the very bedrock upon which you build your empire. The choice is yours, and it's a choice you make every single day. You can let that negativity sit heavy on your shoulders, a dead weight pulling you down into bitterness and inaction. Or you can do something radical. You can strap it to your back like a jetpack and let it propel you into the stratosphere. Let their doubt become your rocket fuel. So let me ask you, what's your story? What labels have been placed on you by others or even by yourself? What words have been spoken over your life that made you feel less than, that made you shrink? Whatever they are, you have the power to flip the script, just like Goggins did, to rewrite your own ending. Because at the end of the day, you're not defined by what people say about you or even by your past failures. You're defined by what you choose to believe about yourself, right here, right now. And if you're listening to this right now, I want you to know you have more in you than you think, so much more. The negativity is not the end of your story, it's just the beginning. It's the inciting incident. Let me break this down for you with some practical ways you can turn negative societal views into your strength. Step 1. Write down what they said and prove them wrong silently. Take a journal and write down every limiting label you've heard. This isn't about dwelling in the past or nursing grudges. It's about taking control of the narrative. You'll never make it. You're not leadership material. You're just another nobody. I did this exercise myself when I felt overlooked. I wrote those hurtful words down, not to marinate in the pain, but to flip them into a source of incredible motivation. That journal became my private scoreboard, my secret weapon. Every time I worked late or studied while others slept, I remembered what they said, and it pushed me harder. It wasn't about them, it was about proving myself right, about honoring the potential I knew was inside me. Use those words as fuel, not wounds. Step 2, callous your mind. Say, yes, you can. Let's get personal now. Think about your hands. If you start lifting heavy weights, what happens? At first, your skin gets raw. It hurts. But if you keep going, your body adapts, your skin toughens, and those hands build calluses. Now imagine your mind in exactly the same way. Life is constantly throwing you heavy weights. rejection from a job, harsh criticism, the feeling that no one believes in you. These are the moments that can make you feel raw and exposed. And your first instinct, a perfectly human instinct, might be to drop the weight, to run from the pain, or to shut down completely. But what if you leaned in? What if, instead of avoiding the discomfort, you saw it as a training ground? 1. Wake up early and do something no one asked you to do. Study that topic, work on your vision, send that terrifying email, practice the skill you feel insecure about. Do it especially when no one's watching, because that's when it counts the most. This is where self-respect is forged. That's how you build mental calluses, creating an unbreakable foundation, one small, courageous act at a time. Every time you choose to act when it's easier to give up, your mind becomes tougher. Not bitter, but stronger, wiser, sharper. This isn't about building walls. It's about forging internal steel, a quiet resilience that allows you to bend without breaking. It's the quiet confidence that comes from knowing you faced storms and found your way through. It's a deep-seated trust in your own ability to navigate the unknown. You won't just survive life, you'll be ready for whatever it throws at you. Step 3, from boxed in to breaking out. Let's be honest, society has a way of boxing us in. Let me say this, for example, you're too young. You're just a refugee or an outsider. You're from that place, what do you know? These words are cages, built from the fears of others, not the facts of your potential. They are designed to keep you small. They seep into your thoughts, whispering limitations until you start to believe them. They become the invisible walls of your own comfort zone, a prison you don't even realize you're in. Maybe you've heard these. I have, and I know how heavy they feel. But what if those same labels became the proof of your strength? What if being underestimated was your secret weapon? If people assume less of you, you have a chance to shock them with your excellence. You don't need to fit the mold they built for you. Break it. Use the pieces to build something new, something authentic, something that is unapologetically you. Rebuild it in your image. This isn't just a metaphor. It means actively defining your own values, celebrating your unique background, and setting goals that scare you a little. It means choosing your own narrative action by action until the story you're living is the one you wrote. Look at how many leaders, creators, and thinkers we admire started off being laughed at, doubted, or dismissed. They used that doubt like a spark to ignite their purpose. You don't need approval to move, just start walking. Step 4, turn your story into someone else's light. There's someone right now feeling lost, just like you did once. Someone who thinks they'll never get through what they're facing, but you already did, or you're fighting through it now. That means your story matters. Not just the polished, triumphant ending, but the messy, uncertain middle. That's where the real connection happens. The moments of doubt, the sleepless nights, the small, hard-won victories no one else saw. That's the truth of the journey. Sharing that vulnerability doesn't make you weak, it makes you a lighthouse in someone else's storm. Don't wait to be perfect before you share. Your scars can be a map for someone else lost in the same wilderness. You don't have to be healed completely to be a healer. If you've been called weak and you've made it through even one dark night, that's power, that's light. You can speak life into someone else. Whether you speak, write, create, mentor, or just show up for someone, your journey can become someone else's hope. Don't hide it, own it. Step 5, focus on growth, not approval. I want you to listen to this. Here's a truth I've learned the hard way. If you wait for the world to cheer for you before you start, you'll wait forever. Don't live for applause, live for alignment. What aligns with your purpose? Do that. Alignment is that quiet internal yes that settles in your bones. It doesn't shout, it hums, a steady frequency of truth. Applause is fleeting, an external validation that can be given and taken away. But alignment, that's an internal compass. It's the satisfaction of knowing you're on your path, regardless of who is watching. Even if no one claps, keep moving because you are not here to seek attention. Pour yourself into your craft, your healing, your message, your business, your faith. Let your work speak when others stay silent. Let your growth become your reply to the doubts. 1. Refuse to be average in a world that's satisfied with just enough. Go deeper, push further, be exceptional, not for ego, but because you were created to make an impact. You're still here with the Inspire Era podcast, and I want you to really hear this. You are not a mistake. Your life has meaning, and you hold so much more power than the world has allowed you to believe. Stay connected to your purpose. Strengthen your mind, share your story, and let the noise from society push you not down but forward. Remember to share this with your loved ones and subscribe to the Inspire Era podcast on our platforms, YouTube, Spotify, Instagram, TikTok, and visit our website, inspireera.w. See you all in the next episode, where empowering voices meet inspiring minds.